part 2. So part 2 for tonight's homework, we're going over another shape. This shape is a type of quadrilateral, and it's called a rhombus. If you can write down this drawing and write down the definition. A rhombus is a parallelogram with opposite, equal, acute, and obtuse angles. Plus, there's 4 equal sides. So here's what a rhombus kind of looks like. Now, when we look at this right here, you'll notice as we draw, and this might be a good time for you guys to pause, this left side and this right side, they're parallel and they're equal. The top and the bottom also equal. What's kind of different now are these diagonals. So these diagonals are going to give us a new way to find area. The most basic thing, if you guys realize, when we find area, most areas of 4-side shapes is length times width or base times height. You're multiplying 2 things. Hey guys, here's the most basic one. So when we find area of a rhombus, it's the same as a parallelogram. So it's going to be area equals base times height. But there's going to be something a little bit different. Remember, a rhombus is almost like a diamond. And because a rhombus has diagonals, we're going to be using the diagonals a little bit differently too. So right now, just get down that the basic rhombus is base times height. So here's the thing. The most basic thing that you can do if you have a rhombus, you can multiply base times height if you have those measurements. However, sometimes they're going to trick you on your test. And what they're going to do when you're on your test, they won't give you the base or height, but they're going to give you the diagonal numbers. So here's what you're going to do. This is the special rhombus rule. Since diagonals are perpendicular, another way to find rhombus area is half the product of the diagonals. If you can underline this part right here, this is actually a really important part. Product means to multiply. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply the 2 numbers for the diagonal, and then you'll find half of that. I'm sorry about that. So check this out. Another way to find the rhombus area is to make sure you find half of the product. So this is good when you only know the diagonals. So make sure you draw this out and also circle this. This is diagonal 1 and this is diagonal 2. We're going to see some problems today where we don't have base or height, but we have diagonal lines. We're not stuck anymore, but what we can do is we can multiply those 2 numbers and then cut that in half. Let's do a quick example. And our quick example is going to look like this. In our picture right here, I'm going to use the number 21. And in this one, I'm going to use the number 20. So for me to find area, area equals half of D1 times D2. So what I have is this. I'm going to do half of 21 times 20. Right now, pause the video and try to do this one. 21 times 20. When we multiply 21 times 20, I'm going to get 0 on top. 2 times 1, wait, I have to put another 0, and 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So when I add these guys together, I'll get 420. 420 is going to go inside right here. And I have to take half of 420. So area is half of 420. My area is going to equal half of 4 is 2, half of 2 is 1, and half of 0 is 0, my area is 210 units squared. Now, let's add this new formula to our formula sheet. Right now, remember, we have area of triangle, which is half times base, and we have area of parallelogram, which is base times height. Where for a rhombus, there's 2 versions. If we do this simple, if I do this simple, area equals base times height. But if I have the diagonals, my diagonals are going to equal this. A diagonal way. The diagonal way, area equals half of D1 times D2.